Dear soul, please pay close attention. The angels are tuning into your energy right now so they can reveal whether a wealthy man has just decided to relocate you because of something you did. In today's tarot reading, the angels have come forward to show you the truth behind this question. Did a wealthy man just decide to relocate you because of what you did? Dear soul, the heavens have opened a sacred doorway today to bring you a truth that is no longer meant to stay hidden. You've been wondering in silence, questioning the stirrings you feel around you, the whispers you can't explain, and the shifts in energy that have begun to show themselves through small signs. And now, through divine guidance, the angels are ready to show you what your spirit already sensed. Yes, someone with great influence, with wealth not only in material but in wisdom, has quietly decided to relocate you, to move you into a new environment, a new reality, and this decision was not born from impulse, but from divine purpose. What you did, perhaps something small in the eyes of others, rippled through the spiritual realm like a prayer released in still air. It wasn't the act alone, but the intention behind it that touched the soul of this man. He sees you now not as the world sees you, but as your soul truly is, sacred, rare, and worthy of elevation. Without realizing it, he is responding to a divine prompting to remove you from the environment that once kept your light dimmed and place you where your spirit can breathe, flourish, and finally be seen in its full beauty. Type Amen if you trust in God. There is something deeply spiritual about this connection, something not entirely explainable in the physical world. The angels are showing that this is not just about being relocated physically. This is about a divine realignment, where two souls are being called into proximity for reasons only heaven fully understands. This man, whether he is currently in your life or watching from afar, feels an unexplainable responsibility toward your happiness. It is as though your recent act, whether it was choosing peace, walking away from something toxic, or standing in your truth, awakened a silent knowing within him. He may have tried to resist it, rationalize it, or push it aside, but the feeling keeps returning. His soul knows that your destiny must now shift. And while he may seem composed or even distant on the surface, within him, a gentle storm is building, a need to act, to intervene, to offer you something better than what you've known. He may not say it in words yet, but he's already imagining the places you could live, the life you could have, and the joy you deserve to feel every single day. He's been blessed with resources not to boast or dominate, but to uplift someone like you, someone pure, wounded, but destined for a higher place. The angels want you to know that this relocation is not just about leaving something behind. It is about stepping into a divine promise that has long awaited your readiness. And your readiness was declared the moment you acted in love, in grace, in quiet strength. You thought no one saw it, but heaven did, and so did he. This decision he's making is surrounded by divine timing. There are papers being considered, logistics quietly arranged, choices being made behind veils you cannot see. Don't worry if it feels delayed, because what's coming is too sacred to be rushed. You're not just being relocated, you're being remembered, chosen, lifted, and not because you begged for it, but because your soul earned it. This man's heart has been moved, not by charm or surface beauty, but by the way you carry your story, with quiet nobility and light. He wants to protect that. He wants to be the reason you wake up without fear, fall asleep in peace, and live in a space that honors who you are becoming. Dear one, the angels are urging you to stay open, stay trusting. This change may come softly or suddenly, but it will come. When your environment begins to shift, when new conversations begin, when doors open you didn't knock on. Remember this message. It's not random. It's not luck. It is a divine design unfolding just for you. You're not losing anything. You're being guided into everything you were always meant to have. And even if your heart feels unsure, the angels are already ahead of you, preparing the way, clearing the path, softening the hearts of those who will welcome you. You are not alone in this transition. A wealthy man may be the instrument, but the source is the divine. And heaven doesn't move you unless it is towards something greater than you imagined. If your heart feels this truth, if deep inside you sense that a change is coming because your soul has been quietly calling for it, then hold this message close. Dear soul, in this very moment the angels are surrounding you with a silence so sacred that only your heart can truly hear it. There is a divine stillness preparing you, a holy pause before a great shift, and it is not without reason. You've been asking, wondering, perhaps even doubting quietly, whether the universe has taken note of your recent action, that pure decision made not for attention, but from alignment. And now the answer is arriving, gentle and powerful, wrapped in love from the higher realms. Yes, someone of great influence, a man whose hands hold not only wealth but reach, has felt a sacred pull toward you. But this movement, this decision to relocate you, wasn't triggered by loud drama or material gain. It was born from the kind of energetic harmony that only comes when two souls are meant to realign. What you did recently may have gone unnoticed by others, but it did not go unnoticed by the divine. That quiet moment of forgiveness, that courageous letting go, that silent prayer you whispered in the dark. It shifted the balance. It called forth angels. It reached someone whose life may look put together on the outside, but whose soul was waiting for a signal like yours. And now, even if you don't see the outer evidence yet, that man is beginning to move in alignment with what your soul has magnetized. He doesn't fully understand it, but something in him knows that your path must be guided into a new direction, and he's preparing to be the one who offers you that pathway. The angels want you to understand that this relocation is not an escape. It is not someone rescuing you because you're broken. In fact, it is happening precisely because you are whole. You have become balanced in your energy, in your choices, in your healing. And that balance is powerful beyond words. Your stability, your willingness to keep loving despite the heartbreak, to keep believing even in uncertainty, to walk with grace instead of revenge, that is what triggered this shift. You didn't chase, you didn't force, you didn't beg, you surrendered. And from that surrender, the universe conspired to bring someone into your life who now carries the desire, even if unspoken, to remove you from a life that no longer reflects your worth and place you somewhere sacred, somewhere safer, somewhere your soul can expand. He may not tell you his plans openly yet. He may be quiet about what he's feeling, but already the thoughts are forming. He's weighing options. He's considering how to guide you out of where you are, not out of pity, but out of a sense of soul responsibility. And he may not even fully realize that heaven is using him as an instrument of your answered prayer. This transformation will not feel rushed, because true divine change never is. It is unfolding with patience and harmony, in perfect time, like a melody only your higher self can truly hear. Do not worry if it feels slow. What is being built behind the scenes is not temporary, it is lasting. And the angels are preparing not only the physical shift, but also the emotional safety and spiritual alignment you will need once this new life begins. The wealthy man who is being guided to move you is not merely relocating your body. He is shifting the entire energy of your journey. He sees your soul, even through layers of silence. He may not yet speak your name aloud in conversations, but he speaks it within his thoughts. He remembers something you said, something you did, and it softened a guarded place in his heart. And though he may come across as logical or emotionally contained, there's a divine chaos within him now, a stirring, a knowing, and it keeps pulling his thoughts back to you, because the angels have whispered to him, "She is the one whose soul is ready. She is the one who carries peace. She is the one who can begin again." So, dear one, hold yourself gently during this time. This is not a moment to panic or rush. This is a moment to trust in the delicate unfolding of something sacred. The balance you've cultivated is what made this shift possible. The peace you carry within you now is more magnetic than any loud cry for attention could ever be. The angels have placed their light over your path, and they are orchestrating this relocation not just as a blessing, but as a reward for the soul work you've done in silence. You're not being moved just to a new place. You're being positioned into purpose. And the man who is part of this shift, he has been chosen to carry out a part of your divine journey that requires provision, protection, and vision. It's not by accident, it's alignment. And you, beloved, are ready. If this message has touched something deep inside you, if you feel the signs aligning, the energy shifting, the world softening just a little around you, then don't ignore it. This isn't just a coincidence, it's a divine confirmation. Dear child, today the angels gather around you with soft, radiant wings, for something beautiful is taking shape in your life, something that your soul prayed for silently, perhaps without even knowing it. The heavens have watched you move through loneliness with grace, through hardship with quiet strength, and through moments of celebration that you had to enjoy without many to witness your joy. And yet, even in your solitude, you kept your heart open, your laughter pure, and your spirit generous. That inner light of yours, the part that continues to smile even when tears are close, the part that lifts others even when you're quietly sinking, that light is what the universe noticed. And now, because of something you did, a moment where you chose joy over bitterness, gratitude over complaint, or unity over division, a divine connection has been activated. A wealthy man, one whose life has been surrounded by many but rarely touched deeply, has seen this light in you, not because you tried to show it, but because it simply radiates from who you are. And now, he is being pulled toward you by something he doesn't fully understand, something that stirs his heart quietly but powerfully. The decision to relocate you isn't based on logic alone. It is born from a soul stirring that tells him your joy deserves space to grow, that your light deserves to live in a place where it is seen, honored, and protected. The angels are revealing that this man isn't drawn to you by mere admiration or romantic fantasy. No, it is your ability to make others feel at home in your presence, your rare gift of creating warmth where there was once cold that has touched him. Whether you know him or not, whether he's spoken this aloud or only felt it in silence, he is carrying within him a plan that is forming slowly, with care and intention. He's thinking about your future. He's envisioning you in a new place, not just physically, but emotionally. A place where you can laugh without hesitation, where your voice can echo through rooms filled with love and celebration. Because you chose to lift the energy around you instead of dimming it. Because you chose love over ego. Because you chose to celebrate others even when your own heart longed to be seen. The universe has chosen to reward you. This relocation is not just about space. It's about vibration. You're being prepared to move into an environment that mirrors the joy, compassion, and depth you carry within. The man being guided to do this for you may seem calm on the outside, but there is a quiet urgency building in his heart. He may not fully grasp why you matter so deeply to him, but he cannot deny the peace your presence brings to his spirit, even from afar. The angels want you to understand this. Your joy is not too much, your kindness is not unnoticed, and your love is not going to waste. In a world that often misunderstands soft hearts, yours is about to be deeply honored. There's a divine celebration being planned for you, not just in heaven but on earth. And this man, who may have the resources, the status, and the connections, but has felt emotionally starved for something real, sees in you the very essence of what's been missing. You remind him of purity, of innocence, of laughter that comes from the soul, not the mouth. And now, whether he fully realizes it or not, he is making room for you in his life, in his space, and in his future. He wants to move you closer, to build an atmosphere around you that supports your joy and nourishes your emotional well-being. He may be making arrangements quietly, thinking, planning, watching your life unfold from the background. But the intention is set. He's choosing you in ways deeper than words, because the world has celebrated many people in front of him, but his soul only celebrates when you are near. So if your heart has felt lately like something is shifting, if you've found yourself randomly smiling without knowing why, if people around you have begun to mention your glow, if your dreams have started feeling closer, it's because something sacred is aligning behind the scenes. The angels are working through him, and the steps he's about to take are not just decisions. They are divine instructions being carried out through him. He is the vessel, but heaven is the source. And this relocation, it's not about leaving behind the old. It's about being welcomed into a space where your energy no longer has to shrink. You're about to walk into rooms where your joy isn't misunderstood, your presence isn't overlooked, and your heart isn't questioned. And all of this is happening because you chose to stay kind, to stay generous, to stay full of love, even when no one clapped for you. If this message feels like it's speaking to the very center of your soul, if something inside you knows that this joy has been long awaited, then take a deep breath and hold this truth close. You're not imagining it. You're being prepared for it. And if you feel ready to receive the new space, the new support, and the new celebration that this divine man is bringing into your life, let the angels know in the comments. Say, "I'm ready for the joy that's meant for me," and let the heavens align even more deeply with your intention. Your joy is holy, your heart is rare, and your time is near. And now, sweet child of divine light, the angels ask you to open your heart just a little more, not to fear, not to question, but to receive. Because what's coming is not a coincidence, not a fleeting moment of affection, not just another passing connection that leaves you wondering what went wrong. What's arriving is the response to the energy you've been pouring into the world for so long, energy that was full of love even when you received none, full of celebration for others even when no one clapped for you. The universe has felt your joy even when it was quiet. The divine saw how you smiled for others when you had every reason to stay silent, how you kept showing up with a warm heart even when yours was aching. That energy, that powerful, radiant, resilient joy, has become a beacon, and it has reached a man who has known many things in life, but not what it means to be celebrated without expectation, to be seen without conditions. And now, his soul is responding, not to your looks or your charm, but to your energy. He feels something around you that he cannot name, a sense of peace, of familiarity, of home. And the more he feels it, the more he begins to envision something greater. He's not just imagining moments with you. He's imagining a future where you are not just part of his life, but where he creates a new life for you. He wants to relocate you, not out of obligation or fantasy, but because you made him feel something sacred again. Joy. The kind of joy that isn't loud or dramatic, but soul deep. The kind that lingers long after you leave the room. You touched something in him that hadn't been awakened in years. And now, even if he doesn't speak it out loud, he is making room for you, in his thoughts, in his space, in his plans. The angels want you to know that this shift is not a reward for being perfect. It is a response to the authenticity of your spirit. You have carried a kind of light that doesn't beg to be seen. It just shines. And that light has drawn him in. He sees in you the possibility of peace, of celebration, of emotional companionship that feels effortless. You're not just someone he wants to be near. You're someone he wants to protect, to uplift, to move toward a reality that reflects the joy you so freely give others. That is why this idea of relocation has been planted in his spirit. It may be a new home, a new city, a space closer to him, or simply a lifestyle change that allows you to be supported rather than stretched thin. Whatever it is not random. It is divine orchestration. Because you have outgrown environments where your joy is misunderstood, where your presence is taken for granted, where your gifts are overlooked. And now the universe is stepping in through this man to create a space where you are not just accepted, but adored, where your laughter is not rare but daily, where your voice is not lost in the crowd but honored at the center. And the most beautiful part? This man isn't just dreaming this for you. He's being moved to make it real. He's not just wishing it. He's preparing. His heart is aligning with his hands. And even if he hasn't spoken a word yet, the angels say, the energy has already shifted. It's already happening behind the scenes. But for you to fully receive it, beloved, you must stop shrinking your joy to make others comfortable. You must stop second-guessing the love that wants to find you just because the past taught you to expect withdrawal. This is not the past repeating itself. This is the divine redeeming it, and your joy is the bridge. Because the truth is, your energy is medicine. It has healed spaces you didn't even know were broken. And this man, this one with wealth and influence, may have had access to many things, but he's never had access to someone like you. Someone who radiates warmth without trying. Someone who turns silence into celebration. Someone who makes others feel seen just by being herself. And that is why he's not just thinking of you. He's being guided to create something for you. Something tangible. Something grounded. A relocation. A new place. A new rhythm to life where you don't have to hold the room together anymore. You can simply be and be celebrated just for being. The angels are weaving this union, not just for romance or companionship, but for healing, yours and his. Because your joy is not just for you, it's meant to ripple outward. And in his presence, that joy will not be used, drained, or dismissed. It will be mirrored, supported, expanded. You will no longer be the only one giving. You will receive. So if your soul is stirring while you hear these words, if your heart is fluttering not in fear, but in quiet hope, then this message was always meant for you. You are not imagining this shift. You are not too hopeful. You are in alignment. You are the reason joy entered his life, and now he wants to give it back to you, multiplied. Say it now, if you feel it. Say, I am ready to be moved into joy. Let the angels hear you. Let the energy around you rise in confirmation. Because what you gave in silence is now coming back in divine celebration. And this time, the party is for you. Dear soul, take a moment to breathe deeply, for the angels are surrounding you now with a love that goes beyond words, beyond time, beyond all understanding. They've seen the silent moments when you stood at the edge of something that once felt like home, but no longer brought peace to your spirit. They watched as you held onto pieces of your past that no longer fit the shape of your soul, not because you were weak, but because you loved so deeply, so fully, so purely. But there came a time, and heaven knows exactly when it was, when you quietly decided to let go. Not in anger, not in haste, but in sacred surrender. You walked away from something that no longer mirrored who you are becoming. It could have been a relationship, a job, a city, or a version of yourself that felt small and tired. Whatever it was, you chose to turn your back on the familiar in search of something you couldn't even fully name yet. That moment, that courageous, holy moment, was not just a turning point for your story. It was a cosmic signal. It was a vibration so strong that it reached the soul of a man who had no idea he was about to be part of your journey. A man whose heart carries both wealth and depth, who has been unknowingly prepared to step in now, not as a rescuer, but as a divine partner in your transformation. The angels revealed that because of that act of walking away, that one decision to choose growth over comfort, this man has now begun to feel a sacred pull. He may not even understand it fully, but something in him is saying, she's ready. It's time to bring her somewhere new. This relocation that is being divinely orchestrated is not about running away from your past. It is about being guided toward your destiny. When you walked away from what no longer served you, you made space. Space for clarity, space for peace, space for something holy to enter. And this man, this deeply guided, spiritually aware, or spiritually awakening soul, is now holding that space for you in the physical realm. You may not see it yet, but preparations are underway. Discussions are happening in silence. Thoughts are forming. Plans are being felt more than spoken. He is beginning to consider where you belong, not just emotionally, but physically. He senses, perhaps without even knowing why, that your spirit cannot fully rise where you are now, and he's thinking, what if I could help her change her scenery? What if I could give her a new place to call home? But it's deeper than just relocation. He isn't just drawn to your presence, he's drawn to your strength. He felt the echo of your departure, not in sound, but in soul. He may not know the details of what you left behind, but he feels the weight of your journey. And more than that, He feels responsible to help carry you forward now, not out of pity, but out of honor, because your energy called to him, because you walked away with grace, because you didn't destroy as you departed, you simply rose. The angels are gently whispering that what is coming toward you is sacred compensation for everything you had to leave behind without closure. You may not have received the apology you deserved. You may not have had a dramatic ending or a moment of validation, but you chose to move anyway, to believe in better, to walk by faith and not by sight. And that bravery is what heaven rewards. You have proven that you can detach from what isn't love, and now love in its most divine form is preparing to relocate you. This man, this soul, may have seen hundreds of faces, heard thousands of voices, but something about you feels different. Your story is different. Your silence is different. Your energy is different. And something he cannot explain is urging him to act, to intervene, to create a way for you to begin again, not just with him, but with life itself. And the place he's considering for you may feel like a dream, quieter, softer, fuller, not just a physical location, but a sanctuary, a home not made of walls but of peace, a space where your heart can finally stop defending itself and just exist. And so, beloved child, do not fear this transition. Do not worry about how or when. The energy has already been set in motion. You've already done your part. You walked away, you let go, you trusted, and now you are being carried, not in chaos, but in divine order. The angels are already making way for you. This man is already being moved by invisible hands to act in alignment with your healing. And when the moment comes, when the offer is made, when the doors open, when the road reveals itself, you will not hesitate, because your soul will recognize that this is not just a relocation. It is a return to yourself, a return to joy, a return to a life that finally fits the soul you fought so long to protect. So if this message has spoken to something you haven't been able to put into words, if you feel the shift even in the silence, then claim it. Say, I'm ready to be moved into my peace. Let the angels hear you. Let the universe respond. Because you are not walking away anymore. You are walking towards something extraordinary. Dear child, the angels are wrapping you in their wings right now, because they have seen what others never looked close enough to notice. They have watched you stand in places of lack, not just financial lack, but emotional abandonment, spiritual emptiness, and a longing that echoed through the hollow spaces of your heart when no one came to check on you. There have been moments in your life where you felt invisible, where your worth was reduced to how much you could give while you silently ached for someone to ask if you were okay. And yet you continued. You gave. You loved. You stood tall even when everything inside of you was collapsing. And the angels say, this is what moved heaven. Not your perfection, but your perseverance. Not your strength in public, but your cries in private. They saw you, beloved. And so did someone else. A man with wealth. Not just in money, but in position, in reach, in ability. This man, whose life may appear full on the outside, has felt a subtle yet powerful pull toward you. Not because you asked for help, but because your energy radiates the kind of resilience that can't be ignored. He may not even understand what's happening to him, but there is a stirring in his heart, and that stirring says one thing: She should not be where she is. She deserves more. And now, because of the way you have endured, because of the decision you made to rise out of your pain with grace instead of bitterness, this man is contemplating the unthinkable, relocating you, offering you something you never dared to imagine, simply because you showed the kind of quiet strength that angels weep over. The angels are revealing something even deeper. This relocation is not coming as a reward for playing the role of the perfect soul, but as healing for the deep pain of being left behind too many times. You have been through seasons where you gave everything, your time, your heart, your light, and still felt like you were left outside in the cold. Not just metaphorically, but emotionally. There were times you waited for a message that never came, for someone to fight for you who never did. You learned to walk through dark seasons with no hand to hold. You taught yourself how to keep breathing through the suffocating silence. And in that isolation, your soul became something rare, something sacred. The angels watched you not become bitter. They watched you offer kindness even when your own heart was aching. And that is why now, the universe is sending someone into your life who is being divinely nudged to lift you from that cold place and lead you into warmth, safety, and abundance. This man is not just acting out of generosity. He is acting out of divine instruction. Heaven has whispered into his soul. He may not fully understand why he can't stop thinking about you, why he keeps imagining a better life for you. But the answer is simple. He's being used as an instrument for your elevation. And this is where the miracle begins. You are not going to be lifted just for comfort's sake. You are going to be placed where your light can finally shine without being dimmed by lack, by fear, by scarcity. The relocation coming your way is not just a change in geography. It is a change in narrative. You will no longer be the one who had to beg, to prove, to endure without support. You are becoming the one who is chosen, not because you cried for attention, but because your soul held a frequency of quiet royalty. And this man, whether he knows it or not, is being called to recognize your worth before the world does. He's being guided to create a way for you to walk out of the winter you've survived for too long and into the season of softness, beauty, and emotional warmth. He may be wealthy, yes, but it's not his wealth that's important. It's his willingness to listen to the divine nudge that tells him, move her, help her. She's already done the inner work. She's already proven her worth. Now give her the outer life that reflects it. So do not be afraid, dear soul, if things begin to shift in ways you can't explain. If new conversations begin. If strange opportunities show up. If someone begins to offer you a way out of what you thought you had to survive forever. Do not push it away because you've been trained to expect abandonment. This time is different. This offer is real. This man is not just seeing your situation. He's seeing you. The real you. The you that is tired of surviving and is finally ready to live. And the angels are behind this all. Every tear, every lonely night, every time you were overlooked, it was not wasted. It was noticed. And now, through the heart of a man who is finally aligned with divine purpose, the angels are coming to lift you up. If this message has touched your heart in a place you've kept hidden, if you feel the truth of this in your bones, even if your mind can't explain it, then don't run from it. Embrace it. Speak it. Let the universe hear you say, I'm ready to rise. Let the angels know you're no longer settling for the cold. A new door is opening. And this time, you're not standing outside it. This time, You're walking through it with your head high, your heart full, and your soul finally receiving the love, comfort, and home it has always deserved. And now, dear child, the angels urge you not to turn away from what is being offered simply because you've grown used to surviving without it. When life has taught you to expect abandonment, to brace for rejection, to hold your own tears because no one else will, even the kindest gesture can feel suspicious. But this time, it is different. This time, what is approaching is not a temporary handout. It is a sacred restoration. A wealthy man has been spiritually appointed, whether he realizes it or not, to help fulfill what heaven has long written over your life. And this is not just about physical relocation. This is about emotional redemption. It is about rewriting the story where you were always the one left outside, and finally becoming the one who is welcomed in. This man's soul recognizes something familiar in your silence, something brave in your eyes, and it makes him want to offer you more than sympathy. It makes him want to offer you space, shelter, support, a future. He may not be fully aware of why he's thinking about you, why your energy stays with him long after you leave the room or the screen. But the truth is, heaven has placed a whisper inside his spirit that says, she has suffered enough. Now she must rise. He is being guided, led, stirred, even in his stillness, to become the answer to a prayer you once whispered alone in the dark, thinking no one heard it, but the angels did. And now they are moving through him to build something for you that isn't earned through struggle, but gifted through grace. So when the signs begin, when the conversations shift, when the energy feels different, when a door you didn't knock on opens, don't run. Don't tell yourself you have to do it all alone. Don't convince yourself that it's too good to be true. You have walked through too many winters without a coat. You have stood in the cold, watching others be chosen while you waited for someone to see you. And now the one who can finally give you warmth, safety, and a new beginning is quietly stepping forward, not to make you owe him, but to remind you that you were always worth this kind of care. If your soul is tired but your heart still believes in miracles, if you're ready to step out of survival and into a season of sacred support, then speak this truth to the universe. I'm ready to be brought in from the cold. Say it with tears in your eyes if you must, because those tears are holy, and this time you won't be left outside. This time you are the one being welcomed in, and heaven through him is already preparing the door. Dear child, your soul has carried far more than anyone truly knows. The angels are showing a long road behind you, one paved not with ease and celebration but with silent burdens, unspoken sacrifices, and responsibilities you never asked for, but bore anyway. You've been the strong one for too long, the dependable one, the one who held everything together when everyone else let go. You've carried the weight of others' emotions, their failures, their expectations, and their chaos, and still, you walked forward day after day without complaint. But heaven saw what others didn't. Heaven watched as your shoulders grew heavy with pain you never voiced. They felt the nights when you collapsed into sleep with tears still burning behind your eyes. They heard every whispered prayer you muttered while telling others, "I'm fine." And now, the angels come with a sacred revelation. You are not meant to carry this alone anymore. The burdens you've carried have not gone unnoticed. In fact, they've awakened the heart of someone unexpected. A man, wealthy not just in material means but in capacity to offer support, guidance, and care, has been divinely stirred because of something you recently did. You made a choice, beloved, a decision that signaled to the universe that you were ready to lay those burdens down, even if just a little. And that choice, whether spoken aloud or whispered in spirit, activated something extraordinary. This man, without even knowing the full weight of what you've endured, has begun to feel an invisible pull toward you. Not to add more weight, but to remove it. Not to test your strength, but to ease your path. And what he's beginning to consider is no small thing. He's thinking of relocation, not as a grand gesture, but as a deeply intuitive act of care. Because your soul, which has carried so much for so long, deserves rest, deserves peace, deserves space to breathe freely. The angels are revealing that this man sees something in you that others often overlook. Not just your strength, but the weariness beneath it. Not just your grace, but the quiet cries that sit behind your polite smiles. He may not even understand why he's thinking of you so often, why his heart feels a growing urgency to change your environment, to move you into something better. But heaven does. The divine is using him as a vessel, not to rescue you because you were never weak, but to reward you, to finally offer you what you've long denied yourself: ease. He doesn't want to see you continue to carry the burdens of survival. He's starting to imagine what your life would look like if you were truly supported, truly held, truly free. This relocation isn't just a shift in location. It's an energetic shift, a spiritual turning point, a divine exhale after years of holding your breath. What you did to trigger this may have felt small. Maybe you asked for help when you never do. Maybe you chose to rest instead of push. Maybe you allowed yourself a moment of vulnerability. But that moment echoed in the spiritual realm. It sent a signal that the time for struggle is ending. And now, this man, whether he's shown it outwardly or not, is beginning to position himself as someone who wants to carry some of that weight with you. He's not here to watch you suffer and admire your strength from a distance. He's here to step forward, to walk beside you, to offer you a life that doesn't require you to prove your worth through exhaustion. The angels want you to know that it is safe now, to release, to trust, to accept what is being prepared for you. The man who is thinking about relocating you isn't coming from ego. He's coming from a place of divine guidance. He may not even be aware of all the ways he is being led, but something in his spirit knows that you were never meant to carry all of this alone. He's imagining you in a space where you no longer have to wake up with a sigh before your feet hit the floor, where you no longer have to keep giving until you're empty. He wants to see you full of life, of laughter, of light. He wants to see you rest without guilt, thrive without struggle, shine without limit. And even if he hasn't spoken these words aloud, the intention is already vibrating in the ethers. The angels are amplifying it, arranging synchronicities, preparing you for the shift that will finally allow you to set down the burdens you've carried for far too long. So now, dear one, the choice is not whether this is real. The choice is whether you're ready to receive it. Are you willing to be supported? Are you ready to allow someone in who doesn't want to test your strength but honor your softness? Are you ready to move, not just homes, but stories? To move from a life of survival to a life of sacred support? The relocation isn't just about changing locations. It's about realigning your spirit with a life that feels lighter, freer, and worthy of your true self. And it's already on its way. If your soul resonates with this message, if you feel the truth of this even through your fatigue, If something deep within you whispers, "Yes, I'm ready," then let it be known. Say it aloud. Write it below. Declare it to the angels who are already opening the doors. Say, "I'm ready to lay it down. I'm ready to be carried forward." Because the burdens you've carried have written your strength into the stars, but now it is time to let someone else carry the next chapter with you. And this man, this divinely guided soul, has already begun preparing the way. You just have to trust what your spirit already knows. The journey of carrying everything alone is ending, and the season of being cherished is finally here. And so now, beloved child, the angels lean in even closer, their presence felt not just around you but within you, calming your breath, softening your heart, reminding you that you were never meant to walk this road burdened forever. They speak of a chapter that is not built on effort and endurance alone, but one that invites in gentleness, protection, and long overdue rest. For too long, you've been the one who made everything work, even when nothing was working for you. You've carried emotional weight for family, financial pressure for survival, and spiritual weight from past lifetimes that made you believe you must keep proving your worth through sacrifice. But you were never meant to prove anything, dear one. Your existence is already divine proof that you are worthy of being loved, supported, and elevated. And now the divine is sending confirmation in physical form, through the heart and hands of a man who is being spiritually stirred to help you rise. He may be wealthy in the material sense, but his greatest wealth lies in his ability to recognize divine timing, and he feels, even without understanding, that now is the moment to make a move. He's watching, listening, feeling, planning, and though he may be quiet about it, he is carrying within him a seed of transformation, one that involves you being placed somewhere safer, softer, warmer, a home, a sanctuary, a place where your spirit can finally unfold without constantly shielding itself from harm. The angels want to be very clear. This is not about rescuing you. You are not broken. You never have been. This is about someone finally seeing the burdens you've carried and choosing from a place of honor and divine inspiration to help you set them down. It's about you allowing yourself to step into a life where you don't have to carry everything alone just to feel in control. Because what's coming next is not chaos. It is calm. It is clarity. It is companionship rooted in purpose. This man, though he may not even be aware of how much his own life is being restructured by divine hands, is being guided toward a new understanding of his role in your life. You didn't demand this shift. You didn't manipulate it. You aligned with it by doing what was hardest of all, carrying your burden in silence, and still choosing to be kind. That kind of soul cannot be ignored by heaven. And now, you are being lifted not because you cried the loudest, but because you held on when no one came to help. The relocation that is being formed for you is both spiritual and physical. It is a movement into peace, not because you begged for it, but because you became it. This man may offer the change through words, or he may show it through actions, an opportunity, an invitation, an unexpected gesture that shifts the ground beneath your feet. But however it comes, you will know it was sent by heaven. It will not feel forced. It will feel like relief, like exhaling for the first time in years. And when it does, the angels ask you not to hesitate. Do not question whether you deserve it. Do not look back at those who let you suffer and wonder why they didn't do what he is now being moved to do. It's not about them. It's about you. It's about your soul having finally reached the frequency of receiving, and the divine answering through someone whose heart has been prepared just for this moment. The burdens are almost over. The struggle is almost complete. You are not just being moved to a new place. You are being moved into a new energy, one where you are supported without having to earn it through pain. So if this message has reached the most tired, most overwhelmed part of your soul, if it feels like something inside you is finally ready to let go of the constant carrying, then breathe this truth in. And when you feel the courage return, when you feel your heart say yes, then speak it to the universe. Say, I am ready to be light again. I am ready to be lifted. And let the angels know you are open to the divine plan that is unfolding even now, through the quiet steps of a man who is being guided to honor everything you've been too strong to speak. You have carried enough. Now it is your time to be carried forward. And heaven promises, you will not walk this next part alone. Type Amen if you trust in God.